Hara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So wishing everyone a very happy Ekadashi. And we'll read from Srimad Bhagavatam, from Canto 3, Chapter 25, Text 35. Pashyanti te me ruchirani ambashantaha prasanna vaktra runa lochanani rupani divyani parapradhani sakam vacham sprahaniyam vadanti. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O my mother, my devotees always see the smiling face of my form with eyes like the rising morning sun. They like to see my various transcendental forms, which are all benevolent, and they also talk favorably with me. Mayavadis and atheists accept the forms of the deities in the temple of the Lord as idols. But devotees do not worship idols. They directly worship the personality of Godhead in His Archa incarnation. Archa refers to the form which we can worship in our present condition. Actually, in our present state, it is not possible to see God in His spiritual form because our material eyes and senses cannot conceive of a spiritual form. We cannot even see the spiritual form of the individual soul. When a man dies, we cannot see how the spiritual form leaves the body. That is the defect of our material senses. In order to be seen by our material senses, the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts a favorable form, which is called Archa Vigraha. This Archa Vigraha, sometimes called the Archa Incarnation, is not different from Him. Just as the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts various incarnations, He takes on forms made out of matter, clay, wood, metal, and jewels. So the deity in the temple, when the devotees are worshipping the deity in the temple, it's not idol worship. They understand that this is the Supreme Lord, and the Lord has kindly taken this form to accept the worship of the deity. As Prabhupada is explaining here, you see people are dying around us every day. And even, all living entities are dying around us. Not only human beings, even plants or animals. But when they die, we don't see the soul leaving the body. Although we know the soul is there and the soul has left the body, we can't see it. Why? Anyone? Why can't we see the soul?
Because we have material senses. Our senses are covered by the material.
That's right. And so then?
So we don't have the spiritual eyes to see that the soul is leaving, and we don't have that spiritual eyes to see that Krishna, because we don't have spiritual eyes. That's why we need to have the Archa Vigraha, and we can't see the soul also because of the material.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Because, for example, even to see the germs around us, we can't see it, right? We need the proper microscope to be able to see the germs. So our senses are not perfect. Our eyes are not perfect. So what to speak of spiritual? Soul is spiritual. Can't see it with our eyes. The Supreme Lord, as you just rightly said, we can't see Him. So He kindly takes on a form in which we can worship Him. So it's not that He wants worship. Krishna does not need anything. He's God. Everything belongs to Him. He's not waiting for us. Oh, if you don't give me food, I will go hungry. No, but when we offer with love and devotion anything to the Archa Vigraha, Krishna accepts it, and we become fortunate. We become fortunate. So there are many Shastric injunctions which give instructions for carving forms of the Lord. These forms are not material. You know, there's a Shastra which is called Shilpa Shastra. That is the art of sculpture, and the deities have to be carved according to that. Because not just ordinary, I think of some movie star and in that shape I carve Krishna's form, you know. So because what we see on the internet, they are not like real, they're not even depicting, many of them, the Supreme Lord. And it's just out of imagination. So according to Shastra, the deity has to be carved out. And these forms are not material. If God is all-pervading, then he's also in the material elements. There is no doubt about it. We say, right? God is omnipresent. Omnipresent means he is present everywhere. So if he's present everywhere, why can't he be present in the metal? Then again, we are putting our limitation on him. He's unlimited, but we are telling him, no, 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 you cannot take up this space. You cannot be in this metal. So we are putting a limitation on God, who's unlimited. But he doesn't have to listen to us. It doesn't mean because we can't believe it or we can't think about it, that it's not a fact. So, but the atheists think otherwise. Although they preach that everything is God, when they go to the temple and see the form of the Lord, they deny that he is God. According to their own theory, everything is God. Then why is the deity not God? If we say everything is God, then the deity form of the Lord in the temple is also God. If the deity is carved according to the Shastric injunctions, you know, the pranstapana has been done, the devotee has invited the Lord to come and stay in the deity. He's worshipped as the Supreme Lord. This is the Lord. We can't see it because our eyes are material. All we see is metal, but it's the Lord. Actually, they have no conception of God. The devotee's vision, however, is different. Their vision is smeared with love of God. Premanjana churito bhakti velochanena. Eyes smeared with the ointment of love. And that is the qualification to be able to see God everywhere. When we revive our love for God, you know, when our eyes are smeared with the salve of love, we put all these cosmetics in our eyes, no? Eyeliner and whatever inside our eyes. So if we smear our eyes with love for God, we can see him everywhere. As soon as they see the Lord in his different forms, the devotees become saturated with love. For they do not find any difference between the Lord and his form in the temple, as do the atheists. So the pure devotees, they understand this is the Supreme Lord himself. There is no difference because God is on the absolute platform. He's on the absolute platform, not on a material platform. The smiling face of the deity in the temple is beheld by the devotees as transcendental and spiritual, and the decoration of the body of the Lord is very much appreciated by the devotees. It is the duty of the spiritual master to teach how to decorate the deity in the temple, how to cleanse the temple, and how to worship the deity. There are different procedures and rules and regulations which are followed in the temples of Vishnu, and devotees go there and see the deity, the Vigraha, and spiritually enjoy the form because all of the deities are benevolent. The devotees express their minds before the deity, and in many instances, the deity also gives answers. But one must be a very elevated devotee in order to be able to speak with the Supreme Lord. Sometimes the Lord informs the devotee through dreams. These exchanges of feelings between the deity and the devotee are not understandable by atheists, but actually the devotee enjoys them. Kapila Muni is explaining how the devotees see the decorated body and face of the deity and how they speak with him in devotional service. So the deity of the Lord is the Lord himself, and the pure devotees of the Lord, they have wonderful reciprocations with the deity. Wonderful, wonderful reciprocations. There are so many pastimes of the the deity and the devotee reciprocating with each other. Does any of the pastime comes to your mind?
I think Madhavendra Puri ji, when he offered the Kheer Chor Gop, he offered, and right? Can you
Yes,
please tell
that's
that
right.
one? Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Kheer Chor Gopinath. He's known as Kheer Chor Gopinath because Madhavendra Puri, pure devotee. He is one of the great acharyas in our line, spiritual master of Ishwara Puri, who is the spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Madhavendra Puri, he had his Gopal deity in Govardhan. But Gopal had told him, can you please go to Jagannath Puri and get for me sandalwood? It's very hot. It's very hot, I'm burning. So can you please smear my body with Chandan, the Chandan Yatra, which is still celebrated. So in those days, it was difficult. You had to go to Jagannath Puri to get it. And Madhavendra Puri took all the trouble. On the way, he passed through Remuna in the temple of Gopinath. And over there, Gopinathji would be served with, I think, 12 or 10 clay pots of kheer. He was served that every evening. And this was like a very well-known, famous kheer offering for Gopinath. So Madhavendra Puri, when the offering was being done, got this in his mind that, oh, it will be so nice. I can learn how to make this. If only I could taste it, then I can learn how to make it, not for himself. So I can offer it to Gopal. So he wanted to give it to Gopal, not for himself. But he said, oh my God, I'm such a offender. This is the Lord's offering and I want to taste it myself. You know, even before the Lord has eaten, he went away from the temple and he just left that place. So Gopinath deity, the pujari, in the night, the pujari got a dream and Gopinath came to him and told him, hey, you know what? When you picked up the offering, you forgot one pot. I stole one pot and it's there behind me. You go and give this to Madhavendra Puri. He's my very pure devotee. And so the Brahman, the pujari, he got up from sleep, cleaned himself, everything, entered the temple room, and really the kheer was there, the pot of kheer, and he went outside. Is Madhavendra Puri? Who's Madhavendra Puri for whom Gopinath has stolen this kheer? You know, so where is this Madhavendra Puri? Please come forward. Gopinath has specially stolen this kheer for you. Madhavendra Puri came forward and he took the kheer and he enjoyed it. And then, but he left quickly from that place. Why? He said, because everyone will come and tell me, oh, this is Madhavendra Puri for whom Gopinath became a thief. Let me get out of here. I don't want people to come and worship me and everything. He quietly left that place. And the deity is called Kheer Chor Gopinath till today. So the reciprocation of the deity with the pure devotee. Yeah, very nice. Thank you. Thank you for reminding us of this. So yeah, many instances, many instances where the deity and the devotee have this wonderful, wonderful reciprocation. Did anyone want to add
Just
any?
one more question I have. There was written that the atheists are the one who don't believe in God. Then how can they see God in everyone?
Yeah, because they say everyone is God. So that's become atheism.
But isn't it that they
If
don't
you,
believe that God is not there?
yeah. So yeah, so it's very illogical, the theory.
Okay. Yeah, I was just
It's
confused because
it's
it
not
was
very
written
logical.
here.
It's full of contradictions because sometimes you say there is no God, sometimes you say everyone is God, sometimes you say God is in everyone,
Oh, okay.
then you
So
say there
atheists
is no
believe that.
God.
So atheists are confused.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
because there's no logic to it. Why? Because it's not true. No, truth is
Okay.
always very logical.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, thank you. So then reading on, there darshaniya Yaver Udara Vilasa Hase Shita Vama Shukta Rita Mano Rita Pranamscha Bhaktir Ani Chattu Megatim Anvim Prayukte. Upon seeing the charming forms of the Lord, smiling and attractive, and hearing his very pleasing words, the pure devotee almost loses all other consciousness. His senses are freed from all other engagements, and he becomes absorbed in devotional service. Thus, in spite of his unwillingness, he attains liberation without separate endeavor. So the devotee does not have to separately endeavor for liberation. Just because he is purely engaged in devotional service, he is on the liberated platform. He's not on the platform of the body. He's already on the platform of the soul. So there are three divisions of devotees: first class, second class, and third class. Even the third class devotees are liberated souls. It is explained in this verse that although they do not have knowledge, simply by seeing the beautiful decoration of the deity in the temple, the devotees become absorbed in thought of him and lose all other consciousness. Simply by fixing oneself in Krishna consciousness, engaging the senses in the service of the Lord, one is imperceptibly liberated. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Simply by discharging uncontaminated devotional service, as prescribed in the scriptures, one becomes equal to Brahman. So, uncontaminated devotional service is pure devotional service. When a devotee is engaged in pure devotional service, he is liberated. It is the platform of Brahman. He's already realized, I'm not the body, I'm the soul, I'm a part and parcel of Krishna, and I have an eternal loving relationship with Krishna. And so Prabhupada is saying that even the neophyte devotee who's attached to worshipping the Lord in his deity form in the temple, because he's so attached to worshipping the deity, and his consciousness is so attached to serve the deity. So his consciousness is with the Lord. His consciousness is not on the bodily platform. So uncontaminated devotional service, one is liberated. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. This means that the living entity in his original state is Brahman, because he is part and parcel of the Supreme Brahman. So right now we are thinking, oh, I'm man or woman, I'm tree, or I'm a dog or a cat, or I'm an Indian, or I'm Chinese, or I'm American. But that is not our original identity. That's not our original identity. All these upadhis, all these designations belong only to the body. But the soul, that is who we are. We are all Brahman. Originally, we are all Brahman. The soul is Brahman. Why? Because we are part and parcel of the Supreme Brahman. We are a part and parcel of the Supreme Brahman. But simply because of his forgetfulness of his real nature, as an eternal servitor of the Lord, is overwhelmed and captured by Maya. Our forgetfulness of our eternal relationship with the Supreme Brahman. We have forgotten this, our eternal loving relationship with the Supreme Lord. We are captured under Maya, and we are thinking, I'm the body. His forgetfulness of his real constitutional position is Maya, otherwise he is eternally Brahman. So now we have forgotten we are Brahman, but it doesn't mean that we are not Brahman. Forgetfulness of something does not change the identity. We are the souls and we are Brahman, but we are thinking we are the body, but it doesn't mean that we are not Brahman. Because thinking is just on our material platform, and that is Maya. This is what Maya is. We have forgotten our constitutional position. When one is trained to become conscious of his position, he understands that he's the servitor of the Lord. Brahman refers to a state of self-realization. Even the third-class devotee who is not advanced in knowledge of the absolute truth, but simply offers obeisances with great devotion, thinks of the Lord, sees the Lord in the temple, and brings forth flowers and fruits to offer to the deity, becomes imperceptibly liberated. So even neophyte devotee, beginner devotee, he understands that, yes, I understand I am the Brahman. I don't know anything much about the absolute truth. I don't know I'm about Brahman. I don't know much about absolute truth. But here is the Supreme Lord. Here is my worshipable Lord. Let me offer obeisances to him. Let me offer him some fruits and flowers. Prabhupada is saying he becomes imperceptibly liberated. Shraddha Dayanvita, with great devotion. The devotee offers worshipful respects and paraphernalia to the deity. The deities of Radha and Krishna, Lakshmi and Narayan, and Ram and Sita are very attractive to devotees, so much so that when they see the statue decorated in the temple of the Lord, they become fully absorbed in thought of the Lord. That is the state of liberation. When someone is completely absorbed in the thought of the Lord, appreciating the beautiful deity, beautiful decoration, the flower arrangement, the dresses, the consciousness for that moment at least is completely fixed on the Lord. Nothing else is remembered. That state is liberation because it's fixed on the Supreme Lord. In other words, it is confirmed herewith that even a third-class devotee is in the transcendental position above those who are trying for liberation by speculation or by other methods. So shall we go around saying, okay, I'm liberated. I go to the temple and I see the deity and I appreciate the decoration of the deity. But maybe for that moment. But when we are in our practicing when we are on the bodily platform, no, we are not. But what Prabhupada is saying is, on the path of liberation, these are the activities a soul does when he's liberated. So right now, you're already doing it. And so gradually, you will become liberated. Because this bhakti is Sanatan activities. It's not that the soul does nothing. The soul is always active, always doing bhakti. Yeah. So this is a transcendental position. Even great impersonal, but then we should not go around thinking, oh yes, I'm so great, I'm so liberated. But because that means we are really in the bodily conscious. That just goes to say really body conscious. So even great impersonalists like Sukadev Goswami and the four Kumaras were attracted by the beauty of the deities in the temple, by the decorations and by the aroma of Tulsi offered to the Lord, and they became devotees. Even though they were in the liberated state, instead of remaining impersonalists, they were attracted by the beauty of the Lord and became devotees. So Sukadev Goswami, he was fixed on the Brahman platform. He was already realized, Brahman realized, Aham Brahmasmi Anandamaya Vyasat. He's understood, I am the soul. And he's happy, very happy in that position. Very, very happy. But what happens? He hears Srimad Bhagavatam from Srila Vyasadeva, his father. And he gets so attracted to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, so attracted, and he started speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. He became a pure devotee of the Lord. So even from the liberation platform, Aham Brahmasmi Anandamaya Vyasya, the impersonal platform, the devotee, the living entity gets attracted to the Supreme Lord, because that's the original position of every living entity. The four Kumaras also, they were Brahmavadis. They were in the Brahman. They were in the Brahma Jyoti. But when they went to Vaikuntha and they smelled the Tulsi leaves on the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, they got attracted to the personal form of the Lord and they became devotees. So, And pure devotional service begins from the liberated platform. So the process of knowledge brings us to the point of liberation. And bhakti begins from the point of liberation. Because once realized, yes, I'm the soul, realized already, I'm the soul, aham brahmasmi. And then, oh, but there is a supreme Brahman. I have an eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord. And engage in the loving service with the Lord. So it is a liberated activity. It's a transcendental activity. It's the Sanatan Dharma of every living entity. Any questions or comments? I thought we'll stop here since time is up. Did anyone want to add anything? And we can finish this paragraph tomorrow.
So here,
my internet is unstable.
Yeah, your internet. So here, Devahuti, Kapila Muni is instructing Devahuti about the bhakti only still, right? We are talking about the ways of bhakti, what is bhakti, how we can get it. Like they said that offering just simple flower, water, tulsi leaf is bhakti. Right?
That's right.
And when you do the kirtan and when you glorify the deity, that moment also, that is bhakti, right?
Yes, that's what bhakti, because see, bhakti, hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshipping the deity. So when we are offering fruits, flowers, kirtan, all that is kirtan in front of the deity, all that is worship of the deity. Yeah, offering obeisances to the deity, all that comes in worship of the deity.
Yeah.
So yes, it is bhakti.
Bhakti, okay.
Okay. So because I know it might be late for Sneha, so we'll stop here.
Yeah, we can stop here.
Then we'll finish the next para tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you so much for listening and joining in. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.